Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. First, some housekeeping. For those of you who have purchased t-shirts on the new campaign or sweatshirts with this background, my patriotic background, thank you. There were a couple people who had issues with the payment system. I did make I reached out and chatted with my representative at Booster, and they assured me that they spoke with somebody at WePay and it should be good to go. So please, if you have purchased some or had run into some trouble, please give it a second shot or a third shot for some of you that I'm aware of. And it should be good to go. If you have any issues going forward, reach out to me personally and I will get it done with my representative. Same issue, same shirts. They're good until the campaign's going through till June 9th so that they can print and ship, and we'll have them all for July 4th and have something patriotic on for my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Second order of business, I commissioned about half dozen hats, limited edition hats, one of 6 in the world. I will be giving away a couple of these to my patrons on Patreon. So if you are not on the Patreon network of support, here's your chance, because this will be, a couple of these will be given out to my patrons there from the channel. So thank you very much for your support if you are a patron. If you're not, Patreon link is right in the description, and you can check it out for yourself. Now, I don't know about you, but this has been one of those weeks for me. It's been a bad week, but I'm here, and I want to talk to you all about something that happened in Ohio that, as a parent and a lover of the Constitution and the Second Amendment, it's actually probably good that a couple days has passed since this incident came out, now that before I've got in front of this camera, because now I can speak sensibly. Zachary Bolin is a middle school student in Edgewood Middle School in Trenton, Ohio. And after school one day last week, he came home, or 2 weeks ago, he came home and did what every kid does nowadays. If you're a father, you know what I'm talking about. If you're a mother, you know what I'm talking about. The Instagram. The kids get on the Instagram, and this young man is in a group of like 5 or 6 friends at school who plays airsoft in a field by his house. His friend put a picture of his airsoft gun up and the word ready. And Zachary, like anybody else in that group, thought that he meant that he cleaned the gun and was ready for their next airsoft battle. But what happened next is disappointing, very concerning, and absolutely enraging. The next morning, Zachary was called down to the principal's office and suspended because he pushed the like button on the picture of the airsoft gun on his friend's Instagram account. Suspended because he liked an inanimate picture of an airsoft gun, a plastic toy gun. And the school superintendent, whose name I'll give to you shortly, I'm going to try to get his contact information, and he came out and said basically that they were going to suspend Zachary because he liked a picture of a gun, and the gun he took as a possible threat to the school. A picture of an airsoft gun. I'm going to read you some quotes because this pisses me off so much that I really can't remember a lot of it word for word, and I don't want to screw this up. So the school superintendent's name is Russ Fussnecker. Yeah, F-U-S-S-N-E-C-K-E-R. Yeah, he didn't get picked on in school, right? He's probably one of those Antifa frickin' snowflake Sallies. Well, his quote was this: "When you're dealing with school districts nowadays, and there are pictures of guns, regardless of the kind of gun it is, it's a gun. Pussy. And there are certain images or words I can't determine if it's playful or real. And until I can get into an investigation, I have to look into it. Those students have to be removed." Due process. What happened to this fucking country? What happened with you Sallies? Did your parents not love you enough? Is it because your fathers aren't men enough to tell you that there's a thing called the Constitution and you have rights and every person has civil rights? You just can't stomp on them because you're a wimp? Can you see why this is enraging? I mean, can you tell? Now, fortunately, Zachary's parents stood their ground and stood up for their son. And the father even said, listen, I didn't think anything of it. The kids play airsoft, and I'm paraphrasing, but I didn't think anything of it. It's one of the kids' airsoft guns, and they play in the field all the time. But Captain Dingbat, the superintendent, had more to say. The board has a zero tolerance of violence, disruptive, harassing, intimidating, bullying, or any other inappropriate behavior by its students. He continues, as the superintendent of the Edgewood City Schools, I assure you that any social media threat will be taken seriously, including those who like the post when it potentially endangers the health and safety of students or adversely affects the educational process. When has a frickin' picture ever caused anybody bad health? When has anything on Instagram caused people to be hurt? Really, it's a picture. If you're that freaking weak as a person, if you're that sad and soft, man, I would love to meet you. I'd love to take you out for a beer, or in your case, a Shirley Temple, because you're so masculine. I would love to take you out with my son and show you a thing or two. Just saying. This is where we've come to, America. There are so many people out there who are so worried about their feelings. You can't even have a picture and like it. That's how bad things are nowadays. I implore everyone in the area of this school, Toledo, Ohio, call this asshole and tell him a few things about civil rights. Just because Zachary's a middle school student doesn't mean he has to submit to some Sally-ass dictator. I apologize if my language is a little unprofessional on this video, but this asshole needs an awakening now. He's probably in a lot of Antifa frickin' marches too, and he probably needs somebody to punch him square in his throat. This is what happens when everyone gets a trophy, okay? For the last 20 years, this country has said, oh, our kids are the best in the world. They can have anything they want, and we don't have to tell them about failure. And if their team came in 0-58, they deserve a trophy for participating. And now those kids who think that that alternate reality is real, this is what happens. It's time to stand up and fight for what's right. It's time to stand up and fight for this country, and it's time to stand up and fight for our rights. Our civil rights. It doesn't matter if it's a school, doesn't matter if it's a store, doesn't matter if it's a plumber. Our rights are our rights. And they shouldn't be violated. And if you let them be violated, the problem is you. Please check out my shirts. I have to sell 16 before they'll print. I was at 13 and it went backwards because of the problem with this pay system. So please, if you're interested in this shirt, show your support for the channel. This is the best way to do it. The money directly goes into the channel. Just had to buy a new microphone because mine died this week. That's why there was a delay in videos. And these things aren't cheap. So, you know, I'm not begging for your help, but if you choose to help the channel, this is a perfect way because it goes right to the channel. I appreciate your time. Thank you for everything you have shown, all the love you have shown over the last 2 years for this channel. It really means a lot to me and my family, and I hope that you can stick with me. Links for the shirt are in the description. If you want the hat or a chance at a hat or two, maybe 3, join on Patreon, support the channel. Link is in the description as well. Until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry a weapon. Take care, everybody.